Hey YouTube, this is Foxygen. We're back in Railroader again today. It's been a while. I took a little bit of a break from the game, had some other things going on, other games that came out, but hey, we're finally back, and we're gonna get back into basically everything that we left off on. So, to start out, we're gonna take the number 2 here, pull up the map, get that in place. Ready? Number 2, select it, follow. We're going to start out by hauling these passengers around. We do have the number 1 here that we could use, and it is technically fully repaired. I don't think I have any coal in it, so actually that's what we're going to do right at the very beginning. We're going to come in here, uncouple the cars, and we're going to get the number 1 some coal. Short lined for the main, slow down just past the shed switch. Push back. And we can fill ourselves up with some coal as well. Slow it right down. As long as we're below 5, basically, we're good. Beautiful. Come in here. Connect the air, and it looks like the tender put the handbrake on it, so it wouldn't move. So let's drag it up and give it some coal. Brakes a bit. Let's fill myself up first. Whoa, real fast. Okay, I guess we're gonna drift right on by. Oh, this needs water too. Let's do that first. And just about perfect. Get ourselves moved forward and get some coal in it too. Alright. Fully stocked up and ready to go. You see it steaming, filling up its air pipes. I'm not gonna fill up, actually, our main engine. There's a specific reason why. You'll see in a bit. Well, that was a little quicker than I wanted to, but I guess that's what happens when you only have one engine's independent brake on. Let's get this decoupled and switched over. I'm gonna give the number 2 a rest for today. Alright. We're going to switch ourselves over to the number 1. And I'll show you what these... See, because the number 1 here is a T17, whereas the number 2 was the G23. which if you pull up the catalog, I do have a few mods installed. I will say that. So I've got a few extra little options built in for different engines I can pick. Basically, the game starts you out with multiple different smaller versions, bigger versions. You go all the way up. Anything with a little kind of profile here is a default engine in the game. Of course, I've added a few mods, particularly the one that allows you to swap the tenders out. So basically this consolidation here, this C25, C for consolidation, 25 meaning the tractive effort, 2,500 pounds. It's got an alternate version that's the clear vision. I don't know exactly how they come up with these names, but basically the only difference is the tender. So the standard C25 tender has 7 tons of coal and 4,000 gallons of water, but the clear vision is a different tender that's got 8 tons of coal and 5,500 gallons of water. So it just changes the tender, basically. So I don't know which one defaults to this size. I think let's see. That's the switcher. So basically this 060 switcher, the S23, they took that tender and gave it to the C25 consolidation and gave it a different name. The Clear Vision Pacific, they gave that one the same tender versus the 6-ton 3,500 water that it defaults to. So there's a couple different tender options for each of the different engines as you go up. But my favorite one is this S24T, the tank. It's a little 060 tank engine, so it doesn't have a tender, which obviously means it's very small in the way of holding coal and water. But it's just a lot of fun to drive around, and I think that's what I'm going to go for our first purchase. Which I believe in the last episode, I'm not seeing it here, so I think we sold the caboose that we had, and I'm considering selling the number 2 to purchase that tank engine. Normally I would sell the number 1 and replace it that way, because the number 1 is the 1700 tractive force. It's a lot weaker, but if you look at the comparative wheel sizes, the number 1 can go a lot faster because the wheels are a lot larger. Well, I say a lot larger, but you know, comparatively. But the number 2 can haul the passenger train at a moderately decent clip, but the number 1 gives it an extra 5-10 mile an hour faster. Even though it's weaker overall, it can get up to higher speeds more easily. So I think that's what I'm going to do for now. We're going to keep the number 1, swap the number 2 out. We'll give the tank engine a number 2. We'll use it for switching and pushing the skeleton cars up and down the mountain. And then once we get up into longer runs, that's when we'll purchase our next mainline engine for hauling freight. So for now, it's about 6:30 a.m. I'm switched into the number 1. Let me see about getting in my person and getting over to the number 1. This engine's a little bit smaller on the inside, I believe. It's at the very least, it's got these extra brackets here, I think. I don't think that's there on the number 2. But we're going to switch over here, progress time a little bit. Most people, I believe, want to be... What is it? What is their... I believe it's like 8 or 9 o'clock. when the first like real good set of passengers shows up to each of these stations. So we're gonna head on over there, lie in wait, and let's see what type of passengers we get today. Alright, here we are approaching Whittier Station. We're going to slow it down a bit. Don't need any water. Just took it, so get some brakes in here. Get some engine brakes, or train brake. Release that. Yeah, the train brake should hold us enough. And just get enough of the independent to hold it in place. Beautiful. So we're going to sit here. Actually, there's 30 passengers right now. I believe it was 4 hours that we're allowed to sit before we start running into issues with passengers, so I might just start grabbing them now and skip ahead until we're full. I mean, we might as well, right? It's just free passengers, free deliveries. Alright, looks like we're full, and it's not even 7 o'clock yet, so I'm just gonna go. If we only had to wait 15 minutes for a full train, then very shortly we're gonna be filling up immediately. So we gotta get an extra car. We're actually starting to go a little bit too fast there. 40 mile an hour is a little too fast. Let's pull it back some. Might have damaged the car a little. Nope, good luck. Alright, let's make it there without incident. Here we are on the approach to Ella. The station should be just around that corner. Station sign. Technically calls for a whistle. We'll just do one. These brakes and slow it down some. Because the station is very quick once you round that corner. Got some decent brakes on the car. And I can feather the engine's brake. Stop, gotta pull through a little. They just gotta get out the front. It's all good. It looks like there's 25 passengers here waiting, so shouldn't take very long. Once we've unloaded to fill back up again, probably just skip another 15 minutes. We filled up on passengers here at Ella. Let's prepare for the return trip. Alright, here we are approaching the switch to Whittier. Go straight on through, round the corner at nice clean 35 and deliver these passengers to the station. And technically we're only required to visit each station once per day. So I think we'll leave the extra car purchase for tomorrow, for day 3. So we'll have a lot of stuff to do then. There's no actual passengers, so who cares if we jostle them around a little bit. Alright. Yeah, and I mean, look at that. We've got 30 passengers sitting here in Whittier ready to go back to Ella, so yeah, we're definitely going to need that extra car by tomorrow. Alright. Let's get this car back into the shed. We'll progress with the preparations for tomorrow. Get some brakes in here pretty quick. Moving a bit fast for that junction. Gotta be up like 15-ish. Just about got it. Number 1 did his run. Once we're parked, we're taking the number 2 out for the freight. So for now, we're going to have the number 2 just take all of these skeleton cars and send them up and set them in the sidings for Connolly Creek. Now they won't load automatically because we weren't given the contract yet, but we can have them at least kind of set in place so that once it hits midnight, we'll get the contract, we'll set their way bills, and then that'll allow us to basically at first light have this train bring them back down for us. Switch that. So we'll have them set there. They won't load, but contract, once it gets taken, that's when we can set up the logistics. those brakes, slow it on down. Close at about 5. Drop the brakes and just stop. Perfect. Oh, those don't have any brakes set. You just kind of pushed them all. Hook up the air. Make sure it's all connected. So we've got the 4000 through the 4007 as our skeleton cars. So technically this is number 1, number 2, number 3, so we've got 8 cars total. And I believe contract 3, I think I said this in the last video, I'm pretty sure it's 15 cars per day. So technically if we just drag all 8 every single day, we'll have an excess and eventually be able to just skip a day or something like that. I'm sure you can tell the engine's pulling a lot harder because there's a lot more cars, so there's definitely more weight compared to just one single passenger car. So we'll get these prepared and start shipping them out. Switch here's coming up pretty quick. We basically just, before we reach Whittier, we just take this first left and basically climb the little valley between these two mountains. Speed limit is only 25, so we're going to keep our throttle kind of low until we get up onto the climb. And that's where we can start ramping it up, because it goes uphill pretty steep. Well, steep for a train, that is. Oh yeah, see, we're slowing way down already. Let's max it out and see if we can get faster. So the track through here, speed limit is 25, but it kind of bounces between it's okay with 25 versus it's happy with 25. So you can take it at 25 for most of this. If you go a hair over for a large portion of the track, it's not going to be a problem. Like this corner here was nice and gentle, but I believe is it this next one coming up? No, everything's pretty smooth through here until the S-bend. Oop. Everything's smooth through here, but this corner up ahead of us, that's where it gets mad if you're any bit over 25. Which we are on our way up because it's straight track now. So let's cut that back a little. See, this one's a lot sharper than the rest. So 25 is the actual limit for these two curves here. And the one just around the bend ahead. Those 25s are pretty strict. If you go 30, you're damaging your cars. much over that, I'd probably end up derailing. Come on. Even with the higher tractive effort on this engine, it's steep enough to have it struggle a little. This corner here might actually just be 20, even though the speed limit is 25. You really don't want to go much up near that. And we're going to take this first little siding. Let's take this first siding at a way slower speed. We're going to dump the first 4 cars into the siding that loads logs, which is just straight ahead on that little spur there. Could take all 8 of these up to the next one, fit all 8, but it doesn't make sense to do that because we have to split them up anyway on the second trip. This lower siding produces enough to do, I think it's 12 cars a day. I don't know for sure, but it's enough to do our set of 4 twice at the very least. So that's what we'll do. Do this set of 4 here twice. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut it there. Head back and take these 4 closest to the engine further up to the next one. If you tried to fill all 8 at the upper section twice, you'd run out of logs so quick. So, if you're making the trip twice, split them up. And if you gotta make it 3 times, then you gotta get creative. I haven't figured that one out yet. So taking this first, basically, come up, drop the first 4, this first siding, go up just a little bit further, there's a second siding, it'll fit 8, I actually think it might fit 9 or 10 cars, but if you look at the production settings for Funnel Creek, let's see. L1 and P1. I believe that's the lower section. When you hover over the names, it'll highlight them. Or will it? It's not doing that. Interesting. Oh, there it is. So you see, top of the screen, when I hover over this L2, there's a little cursor saying L2 is 0.4 miles ahead. And if I turn around, you'll see that L1, again at the top of the screen, is 0.5 miles back. L1 and P1. L being for logs, and P being for pulpwood. So actually, let's get up to front so we don't miss our switch. So this L2 here, you see in the production, only produces 12 cars of logs per day. Switch. So if I delivered 8 cars here twice, it wouldn't be able to fill them all. But I can deliver 4 cars 3 times, so that'll be fine. And L1, where we just delivered 2 down below, is also 12 cars per day. So we can do the same thing there. If you needed to do the trip 3 times, you totally could. As long as you split them up 4 and 4. See that? Hit the brakes. We'll come to a stop. At least I think this is inside the siding. Oh no. I guess let's see. If you hover over... There it is. L2. Nope, gotta go one more car forward. Coast. Hit the brakes now. Yep, perfect. So we're gonna park engine 2 right here. All 4 of these cars are sitting waiting, because if you go in and go to the operations, there's no waybill options. Oh, there is. Let's set that up. So, car 4000, we're going to load it here at L2, where it's parked. And copy that to everything coupled to it. Perfect. We hit tab. I guess it's not going to do anything until the unload is set as well, so regardless, it's sitting here ready, waiting. Should be good to go. Let me double check. Nope, it didn't do it. Oh, what? What is happening? Okay, it's just being weird. So basically when you've got an issue where when you set it, if it doesn't do anything... Oh, because I hit cycle. Cycle waybill. The first one's copy. I see. And you cycle it if it's at the wrong location. You can just switch it around and it'll start, it'll switch whether it's on the load or unload side. Alright, so those 4 cars are parked. Oh, it looks like it's trying to load them too. There's a little yellow circle inside the 0.1 logs. So, while those load, we'll follow the track back, let it load in, and grab these cars and set their waybills. Operations, load at number 1. Copy to all. There we go. So they're going to actually sit here and load and be ready. Cool. I'll see you back here once they're good. Well, that was quick. I literally only had to jump forward 15 minutes 4 times, so it's just an hour later. So you'll see the waybill up top doesn't have a destination set because, again, we don't have that contract confirmed. So in the meantime, we can honestly just take the cars back down and they'll sit filled in the unload slot. And we can have them literally delivered at midnight. So I'll see you when I hook up to the other cars. Oh, about to rip off the tracks. Go and slow down. I think if you're going 25 there, you rip right off those tracks. Alright, once more. Perfect. Tie in, release them, and head on out. coming up on the main Y, back out to the main line. Should be set from our previous turn up into here, so no need to worry about that switch. Just keep ourselves coasting at a good 10 throttle. Once we're out of this little bit of a curve here, I'll open it up. Back to 35. Well, we weren't able to get over 25, so I guess we're just gonna have to coast the rest of the way in. Not worry about what speed we're going and make sure we stop in time. I don't want to drift all the way back up into the shed. Get ourselves slowed down. Going a little bit too quick still. Oh yeah, we gotta stop like shortly here. That should be perfect. Beautiful. That one breaks off and give it a good push. Maxed out here, it's real heavy. What is that? Almost 400 tons. Though technically the engine is, how much is it? It's 40 of those, so it's probably about 300 tons of logs that we're hauling. And then we're gonna push them all the way to the end of the spur, so that way they can just basically tip the logs down into the pond. Oh, let's hit that brake a little bit harder. Ooh, we're gonna hit that end stopper. Ooh, close. Whew. All right. Uncouple and we'll send her back to the ship. And at that point, we're all prepped for tomorrow. Both engines parked. The whole railroad's set for tomorrow. Get our first freight. We'll buy our first car and potentially even our first engine. So we'll see you in the next one.